Hello friends, welcome to Devrat Knowledge Villa. You are watching our English video series of operating system and learning Deadlock. Today's our topic is violation of mutual exclusion and hold and wait. Thing is that why we are violating these conditions? We are violating these conditions to prevent the deadlock. Let's see basic fundamentals before starting. As we have discussed in our earlier videos, there are 4 necessary conditions to occur the deadlock, that is mutual exclusion, hold and wait, no preemption and circular wait. So guys, as you know, if we will able to break any of these situations, we can prevent the deadlock. In short, we can say that deadlock builds on these 4 basic pillars. If we will be able to crack any out of these 4 pillars, so we can easily prevent the system from the deadlock. So we have discussed by taking the example of streets and junction in our earlier videos. So guys, if you are still remain to watch that video, so please click here in I button at top upper right corner and watch that video and come back again here. So let's start without wasting the time. From the mutual exclusion. In today's session, we will violate mutual exclusion and hold and wait. So let start violating mutual exclusion. How we will able to violate the mutual exclusion? We will see with the examples. Here there is 2 processes, process P0 and P1, and there is one resource. It is a file, any file from the system. Suppose process P0 and P1 want to read this file. So how we will allocate this file to process P0 and P1? Suppose process P0 is making a request to read a file. So is it possible to allocate this resource to process P0? Yeah, right now no one is holding this file. Get it? So we will allocate this file to process P0 for the reading purpose. Same thing, process P1 will require to read this file at a time. Get it? So is it possible to allocate this file to process P1 also? Yes or not? Definitely yes. Is it possible to allocate this file to process P1 for reading purpose? Get it? So we will allocate this file to process P1 also for reading purpose. It means we can allocate more than one process to a single file in a read only mode. Get it? So if suppose think vice versa, suppose process P0 require this file for the writing purpose. So will we able to allocate this file for the writing purpose? Yes, we will able to allocate this file for the writing purpose to process P0. But parallelly, same time process P1 will P1 want to access this file for the writing purpose. So is it possible? No, this thing is not possible. Why? Because at the same time 2 persons can read a file, but at the same time 2 persons cannot write inside the file. Get it? So we can share the file for the reading purpose at a time more than one process or more than one person. So in short, we can say that in read only properties, file is a shareable resources. Get it? Same thing, if we will look into the writing properties, so we cannot open a single file for more than 2 persons or more than 2 persons for writing properties. Get it? So same, consider one example with the printer. Same thing, as we know printer is a non-shareable resources. Suppose process P0 want to access the printer at a time, so we can allocate printer to that process for printing purpose. Get it? But parallelly at a time, same time process P1 ask for the printer to print anything. So at this moment we will not be allocate to printer at a same time. Get it? At the same time we can allocate shareable resources, but at the same time we can't allocate non-shareable resources. Get it? So in terms of non-shareable resources, it is not possible to violate the mutual exclusion. Some persons may have a query like how printer is a non-shareable resources. In our offices, we are sharing a printers with 5 or 10 persons. We are using a common printer to print. But thing is that, my friends, we are not printing at the same time. Suppose person P0 make a command to print 10 pages on printer. Same time person P1 make a command to print another 10 pages to print from the printer. So whenever at a time printer will print first 10 pages for process P0 and then after printer will start printing another 10 pages. Get it? So at a time it is not possible to print 20 pages parallelly. Get it? It means two person cannot print at a time. Common fundamentals is over here. A printer cannot bring 2 pages outside at a time. Get it? So hope you understanding. So what is the limitation of this situation is, we can say that we cannot prevent deadlock by denying the mutual exclusion because of non-shareable resources. It means for the non-shareable resources it is not possible to violate the mutual exclusion, but for the shareable resources we can violate the mutual exclusion. Indirectly we can say that we can't guarantee to violate the mutual exclusion. Next situation is hold and wait. As we know, in terms of hold and wait, one process is holding the resources and waiting for another resources. It means process hold some of the resources, but it is not able to complete the execution by the holded resources. So process require few more resources to complete the execution. So let's see how we can violate the hold and wait. Let's see here process P0 and there are few resources. One is USB pen drive, second one is system hard disk, and third one is printer. The task is for process P0, like process P0 want to copy the file from USB pen drive to system hard disk, and then after process P0 want to print the report of updated data in system hard disk. So for this purpose process P0 require 3 resources. One is USB pen drive, second one is system hard disk, and third one is printer. So first fundamental is there. Before starting the execution of process P0, if we know how many resources required by process P0, suppose we know there are 3 resources required by process P0, so parallelly at a time we will allocate all number of resources to process P0. Get it? So it is possible to allocate all number of resources at a time, and these situations we will call it is allocate all resources before begin execution. So thing is that, but in every cases is it is not necessary like a process before starting the executions or before begin the executions, process know that like how much resources required by that particular process. In common cases, think about the fundamentals of office. Whenever you are working on your task allocated to you, so every times you do not require the analysis in hard copy. Get it? Whenever your boss will ask to you how much work is carried out by you, let me check how much work performed by you. So then and then you will print your analysis and you will submit to your boss. So it is not necessary every time you require printer. Get it? So another thing that is do not hold or allocate only when it has none. Consider with this same example. First, do not hold. It means if you don't require printer right now, like what is the first task for process P0? First process P0 want to copy the data from USB pen drive to hard disk. But right now P0 doesn't require printer during the copy. Get it? When P0 require printer, when P0 will complete the process of copy from USB pen drive to hard disk, then and then it will require to print updated data in hard disk. So in starting phase, P0 do not require printer. Get it? So we will allocate first pen drive and hard disk only to process P0. Get it? So after completion, the task of copied from USB pen drive to hard disk, what P0 requires, P0 will require the printer. So P0 will put request for the printer. But thing is that do not hold. Get it? It means right now P0 is holding pen drive and hard disk. So we are not able to allocate few more resources. Before requesting a few more resources, first process have to release the current resources which is held by that particular process. Get it? It means allocate only when it has none. But right now P0 have a pen drive and hard disk. So first P0 have to release these two resources, then and then again P0 can put a request for hard disk and printer. Right now there is no need of USB pen drive because data is already copied from USB pen drive to hard disk. Get it? So right now P0 requires only hard disk for fetching how much updated data is available into hard disk, and then P0 can print the report. So next time system hard disk and printer is going to be allocated to process P0. Get it? So another approach, by this type of fundamentals we can violate the hold and wait. So we can violate the hold and wait by two types of methods. First, allocate all resources before begins the execution, but it is not necessary. Every time process know how many resources required during the execution, because some resources require at a run time. Get it? Look like common thing, printer does not require at every time. Somewhere printer require to print. Get it? So let's see few limitations of this situation is that is poor resource utilization and starvation. What is poor resource utilization? It means suppose we are allocating all resources to one process, so remaining process will be in waiting for the number of resources, or like a few processes are getting 3 to 5 resources, and some remaining processes will get a 1 or 2 resources only. Get it? So this thing is known as a poor resource utilization. Another thing, that is starvation. It means like allocate only when it has none. We are allocating these resources when P0 does not holding anything. Get it? So same all number of processes, we are allocating few resources to every processes. Get it? But whenever at a completion of task of every process is at a end time, every process will require a printer. Get it? So at a ending time, all number of processes are demanding for the printer, and we have only one single printer. Get it? So all processes will lead to a starvation. Look like currently in terms into the situation of COVID-19, all countries are facing the starvation for the N95 mask. Get it? Because N95 masks are best mask to care from the COVID-19. So that's why all countries are demanding for the N95 mask. Same look like with the example of exam. At a last day, or at a last day from before the exam, everyone is reading from their number of notes, or they are reading from their personal litho material. At a last day, students are not reading from the reference book, but in earlier days students are reading from reference book. Get it? So at a last day, everyone requires some specific notes or litho material. So that is the situation, look like starvation. Get it? So hope you are understanding very well. Today we have violated deadlock by using mutual exclusion and hold and wait. Hold and wait, we can guarantee it by prevent the deadlock by violating hold and wait, but we can't guarantee it violating mutual exclusion. In our next session, we will discuss remaining two things, that is no preemption and circular weight. So thanks for watching Devrat Knowledge Villa. Thank you very much.